On today's episode, I'm going to review the portfolio of a UX UI designer from South Africa. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, what's up and welcome to another week of Designer Mind. I'm going to do another portfolio review this week. I know you love this video and I think today's video is going to be very insightful for you. So I get a bunch of emails every week about people wanting me to review their portfolio, but when people tell me like Robert did, hey, my website is built with Webflow, they always get priority. So let's dive right into it and see how we can help Robert make his website better. So here's Robert's website, and it says, obviously you can see him right here, smart user experience, better business growth. I create growth-driven marketing websites using smarter user experience that help startups business grow. Tell me about your project. So before we dive even deeper, I want to kind of cover this front hero section, which is the main thing most people will see. And there's a lot of things that I like about this, and I'm going to say them, but I'm actually going to start with what I think is really can be improved here, and that is the image, Robert. The image is not that good. And as a designer, you need to, so first of all, it's not a very high quality image. You can see the way that it was shot, the shadows, even the resolution of this image is not great. And if I go here to Unsplash and I just wrote studio portrait because basically that's what you're trying to aim for, you can see like how a really good image looks like. And as a designer, you know that, image, and when you put a big image of your face, it has a big impact. And so this image needs to be well produced because you're a designer. You need to know that you're in the details. And if you can't create an amazing image for yourself, what are you going to do for my company? So I think this image needs to be really thought out. I don't know if to mention like what you're wearing or not. Maybe you should wear something else. It's okay. I mean, I think you should be yourself. But also try to look a little bit professional. And it's, I work with startups as well. And so I know that you don't have to wear a suit to impress them, but I would look at the details here and try to make, even if you're wearing a hoodie, just pay attention to the details because again, you're selling design. This needs to be, look really, really better. I think this image can be much better. Now, that being said, let's talk about what I love here, which is I think that the value proposition here, smart user experience, better business growth, this is very strong. I think I create growth-driven marketing website using smart user experience. I think this is a bit long, and I think that I was reading this and I was asking myself, who are you helping? And it's only at the end of the sentence that help startups business grow. I would find a way to say that earlier. Like I help startups create growth because when they see themselves earlier, they might want to keep reading. Otherwise, this is a pretty long sentence and you might be losing them before the end. But I love it. I love it that you have call to action here and here even twice. I actually think this is a bit wasted because when you're scrolling down, you're losing the navigation. And so you'd probably want to keep the navigation just so people have the call to action all the time and just have the same context about where they are in the website while they're doing it. Now, that being said, also there's the orange on your orange face. I think it's kind of like you're losing it, but otherwise, I think this is a pretty powerful way to start the discussion. And I think the copy is good. And I think when you're going here, this is also good. Do you lack website expertise? Okay, one more thing that I forgot to say here. You told me in the email that you're a UX UI designer. And if I'll go to the case study, which we'll go in a second, obviously there's product design and UX UI design, but here, you're writing, I create growth-driven marketing websites. So I'm a little bit confused about, because you're not showing the case study marketing websites, or at least here, I don't know, maybe in the humanist, but here you show product design, right? And so I'm a little bit confused about whether you do product design or marketing websites. So I think it needs to be a little bit more coherent. Because here you also talk about website design, right? Do you lack website design expertise to get your startup generating quality leads? So this does not even talk about user experience. It talks about marketing websites. So again, I think the messaging should be very coherent. Now, you do have here kind of 5 bullet points, which I think is good, but honestly think people are going to scroll it and then keep scrolling. Nobody is going to actually click those. I actually thought this was kind of an inner navigation that's going to stick with me, and I can click this to go to a different section. So this is a little bit confusing. If you want people to actually see these messages, I might, maybe do a carousel or something that's a little bit automatic, because I think it's good. Those questions are good. Are you getting traffic to your website? Try different strategies. I think they are important. So if you want to make sure that people see them, find a way to see them, because right now I don't think anybody would click. Now at this point, again, I'm seeing your face with an okay image, and it's, it doesn't have to be this way, just use me. And then you're talking again about yourself. I think at this point, I would rather either see who you've been working with, because you gave an introduction to yourself and the problem. Now I kind of want to see like what you did at this point. Again, this is a portfolio. So now I can see, okay, he worked with these kind of clients, which is good. The skills that you have. Now, at this point, I've kind of scrolled a bit and I'm like, so why don't you show me your work? And now I'm kind of like worried. Are you hiding the fact that you're not a good designer? Why are you not showing me your work? So I think there's a lot. And then you have testimonials. And only at really the end, you're actually showing me the work. And I think that, obviously we're designers when we're selling strategic value, and we're not just selling the pixels and the beauty of the work, but this is a portfolio. And a lot of time people want to see like, hey, show me the work, like show me what it is. And it's okay. Like when we're going to go to a case study, you're going to, share the rationale and the process. And I do really like how you structured your case studies and your strategy. So I really like those case studies. But again, I think that you should put them up front. You have really great design work. I would put them at this point, I would put them already. Like, here's what I did. And then keep, selling or something like that a little bit later on. Because I think from a copy perspective, you did a really good work. I think a lot of designers are afraid to write, and you took a lot of time to write. Because remember, clients are not like us, right? They need to have a little bit more convincing. And I think this is good because you're explaining who do you work with, startups, early stages, or big brands. And you show testimonials. Here, I really like the fact that, it's a carousel and you get to see all of them. So I think this part is good. I would just bring up your work earlier on, and to be super honest, like you have 3 case studies and then you have more work on Dribble. So I think you can actually just put all 3 of them, at the top here. I do think that it's good to have either a page for this or a link where you can scroll down to them. But because it's just 3, I think you can bring them on to your front page so that people can focus on them. So let's go into one of these case studies again. So I think, again, I said I really like the case studies. And I think the difference here is, you get into a case study, you see something, and then you get the rationale about how this design came to be. In this one specifically, I actually saw this, which is not giving me a lot of context to the design. So I feel like I would rather, just like the previous case study, I would see some kind of a design element and then a rationale about how this project came to be. Just kind of a teaser to the design to let me scroll. This one, again, this kind of an image that it's not really part of the design. Maybe you're using this image, but I would rather see something, maybe this image at the top would more entice me to go down. And I love that you're putting the actual websites. I feel like a lot of designers are afraid of putting the actual work. And when people actually show the final work, they take ownership on it. And you can see that really, it is a high quality website. And it looks great. Maybe I'm not sure if I would make this more prominent, but no, this is actually pretty good. So overall, I think the quality of the work is great. I like that you're finalizing each page with kind of like the call to action. I think a lot of people forget about this. But let's see. So here I clicked on the share your details, but I got to a page where I can't really share the details. I have to click again, tell me about the project, and only that takes me to some kind of a form. So I wonder why I would have to do that twice. Doesn't make that much more sense to do it twice. I would maybe just take this to the Google form. And just in terms of design, by the way, I love this form. I love that you're asking them about the budget up front and you're kind of framing it. I would actually remove this so they know that you start from 5,000. Why even have an option for less than 5,000? But this is pretty good. By the way, I would not use Google Forms. I would probably use something like Typeform because it's more well-designed and that you can use your own brand. And so that would give a little bit better experience than I think Google Forms, even though it works, it works, but Typeform is free. I would consider using Typeform for this kind of a survey. Again, says here, I'm a UX, UI specialist based in Cape Town, South Africa. Kind of incongruent with the fact that here you're saying that you're doing marketing website. So here, Robert, are my main takeaways for how to improve your website. 1, image quality. Get a professional photographer, take awesome photos, and you know that image quality improves the design. High quality design means that you're professional, high quality designer. So invest in that. It shouldn't be that much money, to get a photo shoot with a professional photographer. I think it's an investment worthwhile. Second of all, make sure that the messaging is coherent or congruent or whatever the word is. Are you a web designer or a UX UI designer? Make up your mind and show work that are congruent with the messaging that you're putting up on the website, and show your work faster. You've got great work, so make sure that people see it faster. Other than that, I think your website has a lot of good things that a lot of people can learn from. So congrats on that and the amazing work and testimonials that you've got. Good luck, in the next part of your design journey, and I'll see you on the next video.